Hey guys, I'm your host Random Guy 1335 and today we're going to be talking about one of the best chapters this week because my hero just keeps on delivering. This chapter was again very cool. I have a lot of theories. Getting on with the chapter, citizens are attacking other citizens now because apparently heroes are just useless. This guy has a quirk that shoots water bullets. Water bullets out of all things, and it also has a scope for a support item, and that's very cool. And Deku, he shows up with a really cool speed, and I'm not sure. Again, Deku saves this girl, and she says that, look man, I'm scared, I can't even go to the evacuation center. But moving on, All Might, he comes in. This is the best part of the chapter, man. I don't know what anyone else will say, but this is the best part. All Might, he comes in a new car. It's very cool. It looks like Batman's Batmobile. We get a monologue from the fifth user, One for All. He says that it's just like you entered a time machine because society is backing up right now, and All for One, when he was at his prime, everything was just mental. Now this goes to speak volumes of the tyrannical reign of All for One. We cut to the time when Deku was still in his coma, and we see the first user speaking to the second and third users. He says that, please my heroes. Now he says please my heroes because the second and third users back in the past, they rescued the first user from captivity, All for One's captivity. Now another thing is we get the face reveal of the second and third users, but then again, moving on, the fifth user says that you better get used to the other quirks, and because when you wake up you need to get that imaging gimmick you have done. Now what he means by that imaging gimmick is, when Deku was learning One for All properly, he imagined the egg and the microwave. So I think again the fifth user is referring to this because Deku, he has an interesting way to learn new things and do new things. So again, that might come in handy, and that might have just been a really good foreshadowing by Horikoshi. But the second user, he says that to stop your brother, we sacrificed too many lives to count. And the other thing is, the second and third users, they say that you think we could really get behind a kid who wants to save his arch nemesis. Now again, this is very interesting because in my theory video I said that Deku is going to save him somehow. Now the third user, if he's not Kirishima, because he certainly doesn't seem to be him, it might be that he has a speed quirk. Now he has a speed quirk. The only thing that I have to support this is way back at the start of the chapter, Deku shows a really good he shows a really good demonstration of One for All speed. Now an important thing is, you might be thinking, hey, this might just be Deku using the power of One for All, or it's just his base power that's been accumulated for so long. But I think otherwise, because this might be just the third user's quirk. It might have just been built into the core of One for All, and whoever uses this power can just speed up a lot. Now if you want to argue that, look, if it was like this, All Might, he was also really fast as well, right? No, but the thing is, All Might, he had the power of One for All, as in just the powers of the physical attributes. So he had a greater boost, not the overall speed. But Deku, he shows a really good speed control, and this might be really important because, again, if Deku has a speed quirk now that he can use together with the physical attribution of the boost in power, and that's going to be a really good combo. And I think the third user will have the speed quirk. It might not be true, or it might be true, but still, that's very interesting to think about. Now moving on into a little more nuanced part of this debate, we move on to the part where, hey, Bakugo time traveled. Now again, my arguments that the second user is Bakugo are the fact that the support item he has is certainly more modern, which supports the fact that Bakugo indeed went back in time. And another thing is, in the volume cover of volume 29, Bakugo doesn't have one of his gauntlets. And again, when the second user is saving the first user, Yoichi, he only has one gauntlet. Now The thing is, Yoichi, he was in captivity, in All for One's captivity, and there certainly must have been a lot of villains around to, to ensure that Yoichi stays prisoner. And then again, how did the third and second user, they rammed through everything and just came here? Now, of course, that is possible with the power they have. I mean, they might have been really strong with their quirks. Just look at the second user. He looks like he was in a battle, and the gauntlet might have been blown off during the battle. But just to play the devil's advocate, let's move on to the fact that it might not be it might not be Bakugo, because look, there's certainly a lot of reasons, because time travel is a very tricky thing to think about, and it only moves along a linear line of thought. The paradox as well, because it's basically an endless time loop. If it was Bakugo, why did he feel that Deku was unworthy? Because he knows what's going to happen. Maybe Deku did something wrong in the future or something. And again, the second and third users said that we came from the harshest era of history, implying that they might have been born then. And gauntlets, again, they might not have been support items, so that's very interesting to think about. So certainly we have a lot to unpack in this chapter, and I won't be making any further assumptions until the official translations come out. So yeah, if you enjoyed, guys, make sure you like, share and subscribe, and turn on post notifications. So this is your host Ranway 1345 signing out. Stay home, stay safe, and remember, go beyond the last ultra.